Good morning, folks. Friday morning, December 9th. It's really hard to believe that it's December, and also that we're 9 days into it. Um, I thought I'd take my chance at giving my opinion on the Brittney Griner saga. First, we'll start with where it all began, and this is an original thought of my own, but I definitely agreed with it. Um, what were folks thinking, her included, or her agents or people around her? What were they thinking? And going to Russia during the time of so much turmoil, and I mean the Ukraine war at the time, right before it kicking off and everything, I think it was. And then secondly, taking cannabis there. I understand folks that take cannabis for, different things, anxiety, depression, pain relief, whatever. I totally understand that. I use medical marijuana as a device to help me stay stable. I'll just say that. It helps a lot with pain, but it also keeps me my mood relatively stable, which is, if you know me, is one of my major flaws. Is I can get upset, excited, and whatnot easily, but those two things alone would have kept her out of this whole situation. You know, um, throw the stuff out before you get on the plane to come home. If you wanted, if you wanted to take the chance to smuggle it in, and you're that lucky that you didn't get caught, then get rid of it and make the trip home and get yourself a new thing of marijuana or whatever you're using, vape cartridges, I think it was for her. But so again, just really, really poor judgments that led her to be imprisoned in the first place. But with all that said, Putin and the Russian government were going to make an example of this woman. They know that a big portion of America wouldn't tolerate a pro athlete, a black pro athlete, a gay pro athlete. These are things I'm quoting that writers have said. They knew that they weren't going to tolerate, Americans weren't going to tolerate that kind of situation, and that she would have to come home nearly by any means necessary, right? But, and and this is where I struggle. Like, I'm 100% behind the fact that we leave no Americans behind, and, a woman who's being made an example of, and really harsh punishment. We had to. This was a setup by Putin. I mean, he didn't know it was going to be Brittney, but Putin knew long ago that if he could get a political prisoner that qualified to the guy that they traded for his stature, that's how he would get it back. He would use a high-profile hostage and political prisoner, and he would use that person as bargaining chip to get his guy out of prison here in the United States. That he's an arms dealer. When Soviet Union collapsed, this guy he bought up all kinds of military equipment and whatnot, and basically sold it all over the world. They say that there's an AK-47 in every country of the world because of that guy. He just was so prolific in selling weapons around the world. And so what really muddies the water in the whole situation is the fact that we have other political prisoners there, who've been there longer, who were even more unjustly taken prisoner. The things I talked about prior, Brittney did, if she would have just done those things, any one of them, A, not go to the country at all, B, not taking anything, and C, if you did take something, don't think you're going to make that gamble twice and bring it home. Just throw the crap out. That was just such poor decision making on her part. The other folks that are in there, it's my understanding that it wasn't a decision so foolish as much as it was political imprisonment. But it's just such a tough thing to swallow. I hope we can. What I would have liked to have seen is if they had if there was an offer for Brittney for that guy. I think I would have appreciated if our president, the negotiators on his behalf, whatever the case may be, would have said no. You got to up the ante with at least one of these Marines. I think there's 2 of them that's captured now, but at least the one Marine, so it would be Brittney and that other Marine, that former Marine, I guess. But we got such the raw end of the deal on this prisoner swap, and that's why I think a lot of people are soured. And I'm thrilled for that woman being able to come home. I really am. I prayed for her to have comfort and peace and strength, and but I think folks are getting worked up and resentful because, like I said, there's other people there that have been there longer and ought to been considered to come home. And another thing being, Brittney was taken into custody because she had an illegal substance, in Russia that those things are illegal, the marijuana cartridges, the marijuana and whatnot. We worked so hard to get this woman out of prison over there, and over here in America, we're still throwing people in prison for these different minor marijuana infractions, getting caught in public smoking marijuana, or getting caught dealing, in ounces or less, things like that it's just absurd. People go to prison all the time for that stuff. So, again, I don't understand the administration's thinking on that. And, do they intend on maybe doing an executive order to pardon everyone in the United States that's been convicted of these low-level drug crimes? It's just it's just a poor executed plan. I think it shows America's hand, and our hand is that we're pretty spineless when it comes to these type of things. We should have put our foot down and not only said, no, you can't have your guy back, but if you don't agree with us in the next 72 hours or the next 24 hours, we'll execute him. There you go, done and over with. I don't know. That's a really poor idea, and I know that frustration is just taking hold. But those are really my thoughts. She got herself completely in the predicament, 100%. Had 3-4 opportunities to change course after having pushed her luck. Um, thankful she's home. Not thankful that the other gentleman didn't get considered, and it seems that the effort to get them both out didn't exist. I just don't know. But so those are my 2 pennies. If you got any comments, I'd love to hear what you guys say about the whole situation as well. I think the country's literally torn in half on this one again, and I just hope people don't take it out on the Brittney Griner. You know, it's not her fault that the country negotiated to get her out and everything. Yeah, it was her fault going over there. We've all done stupid things. But, all right, folks. Have a good one.